example 1.1.2. In 2012, how much energy was used in the United States in the form of natural gas? How much energy was used in residential and commercial applications? And how many quads of energy are contained in the coal used by the electric power sector? So to set this one up, I've copied and pasted the source and sectors chart from the chapter into the answer because we're going to need the numbers off of this chart to be able to do our solutions. So I encourage you to look this up in your textbook. So what are we looking to find? Well, we need to find the energy contained in natural gas. We're going to write E sub Ng for energy in natural gas. We could have written U sub Ng if we were physicists. Electrical engineering, we don't typically have a letter associated with the variable energy, so I'm just going to stick with E. So we're going to find that also for the residential and commercial sector. E sub res is the second thing that we're going to find. And then finally we want to know how much energy is contained in the coal, specifically the coal that's used by the electric power sector. So I'll just call that E coal-EP. So this is the solution method for this. It's pretty straightforward. We just got to read from the chart, or from the image if you want to call it that. So the natural gas, we just read from it. We see that under the word natural gas it says 24.9. So that's 24.9 quads of energy were used in 2012 in the form of natural gas. That's all sectors of the economy combined to 24.9 quad. So we got that. Then we got how much energy total was used by residential and commercial. So, buildings, businesses, houses, things like that. Again, we read off the chart and it says 10.6 quad right there for the residential and commercial sector. So those are pretty straightforward. You just have to know how to read the sources and sectors graphic. Next, what we were wanting to find was the energy contained in the coal used by the electric power companies. So I'll clean up the diagram a little bit, and we can do this in one of two ways. We can first look at coal, or we can first look at electric power. I'll solve it both ways for you. So if we look at the energy contained in coal, we see that all the coal used in the United States in 2012 was 19.9 quads worth of energy. So that's total coal usage. Not all of that went to electric power, so we have to look at what percentage that was, and the diagram shows us right there. If we look at it, we can see that the coal is split among different sectors, and it is 91% of the coal was used by the electric power companies. So to get the total energy contained in the coal used by the electric power company, we just multiply 91% or 0.91 times 19.9 quad. That gives us 18.1 quad of energy contained in the coal used by the electric power sector. We could have gone the other way. We could have looked at the total energy used by the electric power companies, which was 39.6 quad in 2012, and then looked at what fraction of that came from coal. So if you look at that, I'm going to circle it here for you on the chart so you can see where that line is at, and we can see that figure right there. So what we do is we take that percentage, which was 46%, and we multiply that by the total electric power energy, 39.6 quad, and that gives us 18.2 quad. So the total energy contained in the coal used by the electric power company that way is 18.2. Not exactly equal, are they? They're a little bit off by 0.1 quad. That's because all these numbers have been rounded pretty significantly in this figure, just so that they're short and readable. So the electric power, exactly 46% of it didn't come from coal. It was 46 in some decimal place, and there wasn't exactly 39.6 quad of energy used by the electric power sector. It was about that amount. So these are approximate, but it gives you a good idea about the sources and sectors.